Hey friend, welcome back to Stripped, Drop Your Patterns. I'm your host, Rachel J., the Connection Coach, and today we are diving into something that I hear about from clients all the time, texting anxiety. You know what I mean? Overthinking every word, second-guessing yourself, and feeling like your entire dating life hangs on whether you put a smiley face, or wait 3 hours to reply, or double-check if your last text sounded too eager. And trust me, it is not just you. This shows up for everyone, men and women alike. So if you've ever found yourself staring at your phone, paralyzed about whether to hit send, this episode is for you. Throw out the rules, forget the cliches. This isn't about the perfect profile or the perfect date. It's about real connection. It's time to strip away the masks, shed the stories, and drop those old patterns that no longer serve you. Tired of dating advice that doesn't fit? So are we. Welcome to Stripped, Drop Your Patterns, where conscious dating isn't about following a script. It's about embracing your whole self and attracting the kind of love that sets your soul on fire. I'm Rachel J., the Connection Coach and your host. Let's get real. So just between us, have you ever stared at your phone for way too long, rewriting a text over and over and over until you finally hit send and then only to immediately regret it? Or maybe you type something out, delete it, start again, and then leave the conversation sitting there because you can't figure out the supposedly right thing to say. Or maybe you've been on the receiving end of that disappearing ... and you're watching your phone, waiting for a message and ... nothing. That, my friends, is texting anxiety. And if that's you, you are not alone. Honestly, I see it on both sides, men and women. For men, it's usually, how do I say this without sounding desperate? For women, it's often, how do I say this without sounding desperate? Did you catch that? Men and women often have the same fears and anxieties around dating and texting, and I am here to bring them into the light so that we can all have a little more understanding and compassion for ourselves and each other. So, you're welcome. Now, this all comes back to the same root issue. Pressure to perform, pressure to say the perfect thing. But the truth is, it's not about the text. It's about the story that your brain is running while you're texting. When you get anxious about texting, what you're probably feeling is if I say the wrong thing, I'll lose them. Or you might feel like the response decides whether you're quote unquote good enough. Or you might feel like you have to earn their interest. And honestly, that energy comes across. The person on the receiving end can sense the insecurity behind messages like these. Even if the words look fine, the vibe can feel hesitant or flat or a little too polished. And that, my friend, kills the spark. Now, I'm not telling you this so that now you overthink the already overthunk messages and pile on more pressure. I'm telling you this as an invitation to let it all go and relax into your messaging and bring yourself. Think about it. When you're joking with your best friend, you don't overthink every word. You just flow. And why? Because you're not performing. You're just being yourself. That is the shift that we're aiming for here. Moving from performing for approval to expressing yourself with confidence and ease. I'm going to give you a real life example from a client that I will call Rob. No clients are harmed in the making of this podcast. So Rob is a very smart, super funny, successful guy in his late 30s. And on paper, he checks all the boxes. He's got a stable career, really great sense of humor, and a kind heart. But when it came to dating, he was stuck in a loop. Every time he connected with a woman that he actually really liked, the anxiety would kick in hard, and he would overthink everything. Should I text her right away or wait a few hours or days? What if she thinks this emoji is dumb? Did I say too much or not enough? He was following all the rules that he had grown up with, such as don't double text, don't seem desperate, don't reply too fast, don't reply too slow, make it funny but not too funny. And his brain was exhausted trying to follow all of these rules perfectly. Rob had shared with me that he would regularly spend several minutes drafting text to women that he was interested in. And in one specific instance, he spent 25 minutes drafting a text to invite a woman out for drinks. 25 minutes on one text. By the time he finally hit send, he was so wound up that he checked his phone every 90 seconds for a reply, refreshing. And when she didn't respond immediately, his brain spiraled. He started feeling like, well, she's not interested. I blew it. Why do I even try? This always happens. And here's the thing. When she finally did reply, she said, hey, sorry, I was in a work meeting. Drinks sound great. Oh my God. Okay. Totally normal. Totally fine. But by that point, Rob was already so exhausted from the emotional roller coaster of overthinking. Does that sound familiar? This is what texting anxiety looks like in real life. And women go through the same thing. I cannot tell you how many women have admitted to me that they'll read a guy's text out loud to their friends, group analyze it like it's a Supreme Court decision, and then take turns drafting the perfect reply. And listen, honestly, I have done this myself when I was on the market. It's so frustrating, and you're trying to play all of the rules. And the rules of texting are like an invisible board game that everyone is playing by. You wait the right amount of time to reply or send just the right number of emojis, making your text flirty, but not too flirty. And the problem is that most of these unspoken rules are based on fear. Fear of seeming desperate or too eager or overinvested or showing someone that you actually are interested. And those fears end up dictating how you communicate instead of actual connection. There's just so much pressure to get it right. And this pressure affects men and women equally. But I must say it again. It's never really about the text. It's about the story that you're telling yourself while you're texting. So let's pause for just a second and notice your own story. So close your eyes. Unless you're driving, then absolutely do not close your eyes. But if you are able, close your eyes. Think about the last time you were waiting to text someone back and notice how that felt in your body. Maybe you felt a tightness in your chest or a pit in your stomach, or that buzzing anxiety in your mind. And when you're staring at your phone, what is the thought that's running through your head? Is it, I always screw this up. I'm not interesting enough. If I don't say the perfect thing, they'll lose interest. That story, and note, it is a story, not a fact, is creating the anxiety. And then you bring that anxious energy into the text. The other person may not know exactly what's off, but you better believe they can feel it. Now, imagine this instead. You're sitting back, relaxed. You take a few slow, deep breaths, and you tell yourself a new story. I trust that the right people are excited to hear from me. I don't need to perform. I just need to connect. The right match won't be lost because of one text. You know that you're worth getting to know. You send a message that makes you smile, and then you go back to whatever you were doing before. You're not waiting on their reply to feel okay because you're already okay. Do you feel the difference? The text then becomes lighter and easier and more authentic. That is the energy shift that we're going for, and that is what makes texting more fun and way more magnetic. And at the risk of sounding woo, which let's face it, I'm a big believer in the woo, the vibration of this new tone will attract a matching vibrational response. Now here's a practical hack. Before you send a text, ask yourself one simple question. Am I texting to connect, or am I texting to convince? If it's about connection, hit send. If it's about convincing, pause, breathe, and reset your story. And about those rules everyone obsesses over, waiting X number of hours, using exactly X number of emojis, or overthinking the tone, here's the secret. The right person will respond to you being yourself, not you following some arbitrary formula. You don't need to play a game. You just need to show up authentically. And you get bonus points when you detach from the outcome. Remember the importance of surrender. Whether you get the response that you are going for is not the point of this. The point is to feel empowered in the process and to build enough spark to meet in person. That is it. So here's the takeaway. Texting isn't about finding the perfect words. It's about showing up in the right energy. Change your story and the anxiety starts to fade. The more you let go of trying to perform, the more natural, fun, and confident you'll feel. And that is exactly what draws the right person in. Now, if you're tired of overthinking and second-guessing yourself, if you are ready to feel confident, not just in your text, but in your whole dating life, this is the exact work I do with my clients. And I'll be honest, trying to rewire these patterns on your own is tough. You have been rehearsing the old story for years. But with the right support, you can flip that script and completely change your experience of dating. So here's your next step. Head to the show notes and grab one of my free resources, like the 5-minute pre-date pregame worksheet or the speed dating survival guide. And if you're ready for real transformation, book a free kickoff call with me. Let's get you unstuck and moving toward the kind of relationship that you actually want. And of course, be sure to like and subscribe to Stripped, share this episode with a friend who has ever agonized over texting, and let's spread the word on building healthier, more confident connections. Thanks for hanging out with me today on Stripped, Drop Your Patterns. I'm your host, Rachel J. Until next time, remember, being yourself isn't just enough. It is the most attractive thing that you can do. And make sure you join me next week for part 2 of this conversation, where I'll unpack the biggest texting traps and why our brains freak out when we don't hear back, and how you can turn texting anxiety into confident connection. Bye for now.